morning and welcome back to Sacred Sundays. Once again, we are enjoying the beautiful gardens here at Namaskar. My name is Cindy and today I'm very excited to share my guests are from the Mary Jane collection. So morning KG and morning Anna.
Good morning Cindy, it's so lovely to be here and it's lovely to meet you and it's lovely to see you again KG.
Yes, thank you so much again for having us.
Thank
it's really
you.
Awesome.
So I'm wondering if we can take a moment for each of you just to introduce yourselves and maybe just share a little bit of your story.
Sure, no problem. My name is Anna. I'm the Health and Wellness Director for the Mary Jane's collection. I'm also co-founder of a company called Herb with my friend Kelly Walter McHugh, and we do feminine retreats based in cannabis, and I'm also known as the 420 chef in the cannabis community. So shortly, that's who I am.
Yeah, and what does 420 chef mean? Because I saw that and I was very intrigued. What is that all about?
Basically, it's incorporating cannabis into your daily lifestyle through food, edibles, medibles as we call them, because it's medicinal. You know, cannabis is medicinal for us. So, and I'm a fierce advocate for female rights and females in the community. So that's
beautiful. Beautiful. And you?
Yeah, I'm KG, so I'm very involved with the marketing side of the cannabis industry. So with Mary Jane's collection, I'm the director of marketing, and I have my own brand, Ganja Photographer. So I do a lot of the photography, and I've got a cannabis show called 420 Live. So yeah, I'm very much about bringing the brands together and getting them out there into the world.
Normalizing.
Yes. And so tell me a little bit more about Mary Jane, because I know that you guys do a lot of community work. What does that involve?
It's a non-profit company, and what we are trying to achieve at the moment is to empower the youth, females, and the lesbian, gay, queer. Oh, I'm going to offend so many people because I can't say all the letters.
LGBTQ.
Thank
plus
you.
What?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, and I apologize to anyone offended. To uplift and empower through the use of cannabis and agriculture and just pretty much empowerment. And we are talking about doing a workshop where we teach people from Swaziland, ladies from Swaziland, who actually make their living growing cannabis as for the black market to grow properly,
and to earn a living.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Basically using cannabis to uplift the community and empower the community and educate the community.
Yes, because it's such a versatile substance. You can use it for medicine, you can use it for food, you can use it for livestock fodder, you can use it for hempcrete, which is building materials, you can use it for everything, fiber.
Yeah. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this topic of cannabis. What is it that interests the two of you into this diving into what is cannabis? How do I bring it into my life? I don't know if each of you have a story that you want to share on.
I have a very long story. Do you want to start, KG?
Okay. Well, with me, I noticed that with my group of friends or just society in general, they were very comfortable with alcohol, where I noticed, because of also my upbringing in my past, like alcohol was never really for me. I was just doing it because it was there and that's what everyone was doing. And I finally, I did experiment with it when I was in high school. Like I remember the last day of school after exams, instead of drinking, we would go to my house and we would smoke a J, because that way we knew by the time our parents came home, we'd be fine. We wouldn't be like, oh, whoa, what's going on? But I didn't really do it, I'd say, seriously when I was younger. Only when I was about 21, 22, I met someone I was working with at the Bird Gardens who was a proper stoner, what we would call them, and he introduced me to it. So I didn't know how to roll or anything at the time. He gave me a little pipe and he would give me a little bit of weed, which lasted me a whole month. And from there I started consuming and see what it does for me. And in the beginning, when you use cannabis, it's a very different experience from when you use it regularly. I mean, same with drinking. If you drink every day, it's not going to have the same effect on someone who drinks once a month. So I started noticing once I liked that I can think clearly. I don't with alcohol, the more you drink, the more you forget, the more it numbs you. I found with cannabis, it made me feel good and I could think better. I have this very foggy mind. Lots of things tend to go through my mind, and cannabis just seems to bring that down. So I found that I was really taken on this cannabis journey, and I was very just amazed about how beautiful it is. So I found it was a fascination for me. Whenever I did get weed, I would take pictures and zoom in, and how much
Almost like the energy of the plant.
yes. So from that I got into the photography part, and through that I'm here now.
And so for you
involved.
can honestly say it's enhanced your human journey. You feel that you're more balanced, and it's helping you with your inner journey of healing.
Definitely. I see that it doesn't, obviously with any substance you got to be responsible about it, so you got to definitely find your own individual balance of how it works for you, and I mean there's so many different ways to consume it. So if smoking it is not your way, there's edibles, there's oils, there's whatever. So I like that it's very
versatile.
Yes, that's what I like.
And when you and I were chatting, you were talking about the goddess energy behind the plant. I would love to know more about that.
Absolutely, that's one of my favorite subjects.
Yeah.
You know, the different goddesses associated with the plant. We have, okay, so in the history, it goes back that humans have been using cannabis for about 12,000 years.
Wow.
So since the Neolithic period, it's been cultivated in ancient cultures, and it's actually the reason why the Chinese invented writing and paper and everything. And from the Chinese culture, we have the goddess Magu, which is the goddess of hemp and cannabis. And it basically means the goddess of plant with two sexes, because the cannabis plant has two sexes. And you know, when you as a woman actually work with a plant, there's an absolute energy exchange, and because we find the female of the species very useful, it's the one with the most medicinal qualities in it. So that I find absolutely fascinating. And then in the Hindu tradition, we have Kali, who's associated with cannabis, you know, the goddess of death and rebirth, which is also fascinating because cannabis causes your body to become go into homeostasis, which is a balance. And I think and it kills cancer. So I mean it does the good and the you know,
it releases the dead cells and
exactly, you know, it's dualistic in nature, and it's so beautiful, like the goddess Kali. You know, it's all interrelated.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
And so how did you start on this journey of bringing it into your circle?
Okay, I trained as a chef in London many years ago. Not gonna say how long ago. And after work, a joint was as acceptable as a glass of wine. And with a joint, you didn't have a hangover the next day. And you know, I remember the relaxing properties. And you know, if you're training for 12, 14, 16-hour days and you don't get a break, you know, it's very, very calming and soothing, and you know, it puts you to sleep. And then fast forward a few years, I was working in Taiwan as a teacher, and one of my friends was a Nepalese hashish master, you know, one of my co-teachers there, and I learned a lot from him, and I found it all very fascinating until I came back to South Africa, and my uncle had cancer, and cancer has been in my family is riddled with it, and he just came out and said, I'm using cannabis for cancer, CBD oil, I'm using it for cancer. And the way that it was accepted was just fascinating, and I started reading up, you know, and started growing plants to try and help him, not knowing that you actually needed special plants, you know, these different ones. But so my journey started, and it was absolutely a journey of healing for my family. You know, I wish I could turn back time and heal my mother, because she had breast cancer when I was 10 years old, which is about 30 years ago. And the you know, the chemotherapy and the medicines that they actually have to use it's a miracle she survived. You know.
Yeah, so I think what's exciting me about today's conversation is it's every ordinary kind of person. You know, you're going about your business, you're living life, and this is actually something beautiful that you can introduce into your day-to-day rhythm. And I think in our next episode we're going to dive deeper into all the different uses of it, and how this is actually such a beautiful gift for people who are constantly struggling with chronic medications, and how this can be a replacement for them. So I'm really excited to dive deeper into this conversation, but for today I would like to thank you both for just being brave enough to say yes to come and share your story. And then for our audience, guys, we look forward to seeing you for part 2 of this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.